Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
How do you make the best decision possible for your business? This presentation will go through the main three solutions: CRMs, calendar management, and data storage, and then give you insider tips how to pick the right one for your business. Now, for those of you who don't know Kelvin has built, sold, and rebuilt multiple million-dollar businesses across multiple industries, including education, leadership, technology, and construction. At the core of his success is his passion, firstly for empowering and leading people to live and work within their passion, and also his vast tech experiences to satisfy his inner nerd, as he calls it. And Kel now lives in his own dream, living in remote location of East Arnhem Land.
All right, I've been a nerd since very young, and if you actually go back into computers and actually, if everybody knows anything about computers, they start off what they call punch cards. And so I literally started learning at a punch card level. And I was one of the first Microsoft technicians when Microsoft came out and they went from DOS into what's called 3.11. And so yeah, so I've been back then, and back in the days, people know computers by their terabytes, all right, and gigabytes. Well, my first computer had 4 megabytes of hard drive. Wow. All right, so you've got to think that far back. So technology nerd, that's for sure. So I'm actually going to give you 4 today. I'm going to throw in a bonus. I want to really give you a bit of an understanding of where technology is, where it's going, and how to actually get freedom by using the technology rather than actually using your time. All right, so it's technology gives you that time. All right, rather than being a bottleneck for you and how to actually use the stuff. So that's where I'm about to go. So how do you automate your time? How do you automate your marketing? And how do you actually get the hack of this, what I call the hack of the century? All right, but I want to first off start off with the real basics. So just a bit of an idea in the room. Who are the Microsoft users? So we've got a Microsoft user, Google user. Google?
Yep.
Google. Okay. So half and half in the room. Okay. What I want to start off with is a lot of people go through this sort of debate about what sort of technology, what's the platform that's best for me? It's probably the number one question I get is, are we going to end up with Google or are we going to end up with Microsoft? Can I just say to you, it doesn't really matter. All right? What matters is what works for you. So in a bigger corporation, so in the real estate sort of industry where you've got multiple offices and bits and pieces all over the place, quite often the bigger corporates, they'll go down the Microsoft line, okay? But in small business, if you're in small business, the whole idea of going down the Google line makes a lot more sense. Let me give you some examples of why. So somebody in a big corporate, they've generally got a bigger pool of money and they've got bigger money to spend on marketing. But small businesses don't have that. They've got to rely on SEO, search engine optimization, and different areas of marketing to be able to leverage their business. And the reality is just not nice and simple. Google is the #1 search engine around the world. And once you're actually on Google and you start using Google correctly, you instantly go up the search rankings just because you're a Google user. That by itself is enough for a small business to say that's right for me. You can always swap from one to another, but I would say to you this, the second biggest problem I see in businesses is they go, I don't know which one to use, so I'll use both. And then I'll add Dropbox, and then I'll use this, and I'll use that, and they'll have their storage in 4, 5, 6, 7 different places. Now, the reality is in business, other people are going to make different choices than you. So you may have to have those accounts open, but don't use it for your business. Use it for data transfer to you, don't use it for your business. So data transfer, put it into your position or your storage place. That's the best tip I can give you. because there's nothing worse than going, oh, where did I store that? Was that in Google? Was that in OneDrive? Was that in iCloud? Was that in Dropbox? Just put it in one spot. Number one tech tip I'd say for every business out there. So to give you an idea of some of the different things that have taken me and led me here. So back in 2017, 2018 and 2019, I was actually awarded in the top 10 professionals in this area, in the area of technology and building teams. And so in that sort of time, I actually wrote 3 best-selling books that were number 1 bestseller. And I really just concentrated on what is the leadership techniques and what is the personal development side of things. Where have you got to go personally in your mindset to be able to make these changes? And so out of that learning, going through theses and doing doctorates and stuff like that, is the stuff that I'm talking to you about today. So it's not just about, I'm just about to turn 58 in 2 weeks' time, right? So 58 years of being a techno nerd, or 50 odd years of being a techno nerd, but also many, many years in business as well. So I guess what I'm saying to you is, don't be afraid to ask me some questions, and if I don't have the answer, I'll make sure I find it for you. Okay? So, first major point I want to say to you is, how do you automate your time? Time is that one thing we cannot get more of, but yet it's the thing that everybody wants from us. And so the more people are saying, I want some time, I want to do a one-to-one, I want to do this, 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 how do you automate your time to make it work? So a lot of us are probably familiar with a program called Calendly. All right, a lot of us use Calendly. Great product, all right. I'd actually say to you, if you're using the free version, maybe consider the paid version, because you cannot actually get time and freedom and automate your time on the free version. You're talking about $12 to go up to a paid version. And what you can then allows you to do as far as time is concerned, you can set up different calendars or different booking links for different days, different tasks. And this is the most important thing for you to remember. How I set up my time and get so much done, like 2 of the books that I wrote in 1 week. Why? It's because I just carved out the time and turned off all my technology, got rid of all the noise, and just bolted down and stuck at doing one task at a time. We know we can't multitask. And if you try and multitask, you're going to get yourself into all sorts of confusion. So there's been a whole bunch of studies on that. There's a reality is that if you go from task to task and multitask, it takes the average mind 23 minutes to completely switch off from one task to completely switch on to a new task. So it takes 23 minutes to do that, and you're doing 2 tasks. You can never concentrate. Even if it's just a ping of a phone, or somebody walking in and saying, hey, can I get you for a minute? And you say no, that distraction will take you 5 minutes to get your concentration back online. So you need to close yourself off. You need to actually get yourself thinking in the same area. So how I manage my time, and I use calendars to do this, is when I put out a booking link, I have every Monday is my team day. Like nobody talks to me on a Monday outside of my team. It's strategy time, it's looking at vision, it's looking at what projects we're doing. So it's meeting after meeting after meeting with my team. Nothing interrupts that. 0. So I don't have my phone on. I don't look at my emails until the end of the day, etc., etc. So nothing can book into my calendar on Monday. I have a separate calendar for my Tuesday. Tuesdays typically, in the past, have been my networking. I'm now moving it to Wednesday because I'm doing the online Wednesday. But Tuesday was when I was actually doing the online BX. So now, my Wednesdays are going to be my networking days. And everything I do is focused on how do I build my network. All day. Nothing else gets booked into the calendar. So if I've got one-to-ones and different things that I'm trying to get referral partners, my referral partner meetings are all on the same day, because my head is now focused on one task, building a network. My sales are all in one day. So if somebody's wanting to talk to me from a sales perspective, that's the calendar, that's the day they can book in. I don't give them one calendar, they can make their choice. I give them a calendar, they can only choose when I'm going to be available to do it in my time and keep my head straight. And Fridays are what I call my VIP day. I think I'm a very important person. So that's the time that I actually do. That's my own time to recharge, to think, and to go through things. So a calendar, if you can automate your calendar, That's what's going to make a big difference to you.
What happens
The next-
if someone's only working 3 days a week and that's not the day that you want to talk to them? Like, how
It's a
possible
great question. And this is the area where you've got to make a decision. Do you want to be the expert or do you want to be at everybody's beck and call? Okay? If you want to be the expert, you need to actually get people to look into your time. All right? Now that will take time. That took me time. It took me a year or two to actually get into that cycle. So just make sure that you have got the right framework of mind. The second one is about automating your marketing. Can I say this environment is automating your marketing? If you build the right networks, it'll outstrip your Google ads, your Facebook ads, etc., etc. And so things like that, getting your socials working well, getting your network. If you cannot make a connection here with somebody you're looking for, that direct connection, just ask somebody, hey, can you share my post? Friend me on Facebook and share my posts for me. That within itself is working this network to its full advantage. All right, so just being able to do that is automating your network. All right, social media posting. And the hack of the century. Let me just say to you that Calendly is okay, social media posting is okay, but unless you've got a CRM that will actually drive this thing properly, you are going to end up in strife. All right, and there's a number of different CRMs that are out there that will actually do the job for you. CRM is client relationship management, customer relationship management. I call it comfort relationship management, right? That's what gives me comfort to know that I've got a system in place that will actually make a difference and give me back time. So for example, we've just given out our one-to-one slips and stuff like that. What do? As soon as I get those slips, I go back, I push 1 or 2 buttons and all my emails go out asking for the friend requests and all the different information. It's already blocked into my CRM. I've now, instead of having to sit down there and write all these 15 different emails to different people on those slips, I push one button, put an email address in and it goes, and it automates the whole process. And if I don't get an email back, all right, from that person, I get a task to come back and say, chase them up. And I just push another button and it sends another, hey, you've forgotten about that. It's just an automation process. And so getting the right CRM to be able to do that is what it's about. So I guess, just in summary, to be able to get your time back and get the freedom you want, you've got to start thinking differently. You've got to start to think to yourself, what's my mindset now? And what you said there is so true. If you position yourself as somebody that's worthwhile talking to, you will get your time back. You will be able to build the networks that will actually make a difference, and you'll be able to build the systems that will give you back your time. And so the 3 pieces work together. And so if you can go out and do that, I guarantee you'll be out there catching some Spanish mackerel in the Northern Territory.